Hello and welcome to the Peilcast podcast with myself, David Carabini. Support for this week's Peilcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's performance package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping when you use the code Peilcast20. That's Peilcast20, Peilcast20, Peilcast20 at manscaped.com. If my maths is correct, that's about 8 million balls, give or take. Have you ever had a nick downstairs when you're having a nice groom? It's not very good, is it? It hurts. It's quite painful. For me personally, it's happened many times. But not anymore. Not since I invested in Manscaped. The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, it's a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag that holds your goodies. First off, the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever. Their fourth generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 400K LED spotlight. You need this for a more precise shave. Because this trimmer is waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor. You thought that was good? The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose holes. Their Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver ball toner will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed travel bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level. It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code Peilcast20. That's Peilcast20, Peilcast20. And trust me when I say this, your balls will thank you.
All right, lads, welcome back to the Peilcast podcast. Today it's hosted by me, Jack McArdle, and Bill Gaine. Unfortunately, Dave Carabini is still crying over drugs and bet by both last week. So we're joined today by, probably in my opinion, probably the best media team in the first division, first of all, with Joseph Murray from Galway United. And then we have second best, maybe, technically the top of the league, but we're joined by Aaron Howey from Cork City Media Team. We're just going to have a little discussion today just about the social media aspect of the league. And just all about the media outlet from the league, which is very important nowadays, obviously, with social media, as you can see. So if you just want to just introduce yourself, tell what you're about, and just work from there.
Yeah, I'll go first. Obviously, I'm with the Galway United media team. I've not been doing it for as long as Aaron has, but basically I oversee kind of the live updates on a match day, and I'd be responsible for making some of the graphics, not all of them. I can't take full credit for them, nowhere near, but that'd kind of be my main thing, just live match updates and kind of the graphic side of things as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same on our end, on the Cork City side of things. I do our social media stuff, I do our graphics, match day stuff as well. I'm the media officer for the first team and for the women's team as well, so I'd be kind of doing the same on both sides of the club. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just after getting told there actually. Joseph, you got your first big chance with Irish football, is that correct?
It is actually, yeah. He got me started writing Galway United match reports, and I'm actually doing that now for Galway United. So, yeah, could call it a downgrade, I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also with Kyle Gaine, also seeing him getting a chance at Longford, which is great. Young enough fella as well. But I just have a question. Now, talking of media and social media, what about Bray Wanderers? What's your opinion on them now recently?
I don't know. Everyone was kind of, piling in on them, myself included. But I think at the end of the day, it is a bit of a shame, I suppose. It's a club that's kind of, got such a rich history in League of Ireland, and just to see that type of thing happening, and there's so much potential there, and ultimately like it reflects badly on the whole league when stuff like that is happening. And yeah, it's just more of a shame than anything, because a lot of clubs are putting so much effort in, and when you see stuff like that happening, it's just a bit of a kick in the teeth, really. So yeah, hopefully we don't see a repeat of that. But yeah,
I think, to be fair,
saying
they've gotten better in the last couple of weeks. I know the whole El Grafico thing, we all had a bit of a laugh, but I know I think they're struggling for numbers behind the scenes, so I think they were kind of doing what they could. But to be fair, they have gotten better. They had the kind of match day animations and stuff there last week, I think it was, or the week before. So they're making some bit of progress anyway, which is good to see.
I'm just, did it take Galway United? Was it Galway United's social media? Did it take the match preview off them, was it?
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, it was up to you. I didn't know if it was up to you or Cork, actually.
They're awful moaners up in Galway as well, like, so they were.
Yeah, we noticed it straight away, in fairness.
I saw loads going on about it. Bill, I'll let you work away now.
Yeah, I suppose one thing we have to preface it is an awful lot of clubs, I think, in the same instance of Braves, that it's all volunteers, so it's very difficult to get volunteers or whatever. But I think in a kind of perverse sort of way, Brave graphics at one stage, when they're getting pelters about it had the exact desired effect that you'd want with the graphics, because absolutely everyone was sharing it. It was for the wrong reasons, but it was still having the exact same desired effect that you'd want with your social media graphics, like, because it was being shared by the entire league. So
to be fair,
I
a lot of
think
people saw it that week in particular. Yeah, there was a lot of eyeballs on the Brave socials, so
yeah,
it worked for them.
In a sense, it worked. Like,
I think my issue with it is not them screenshotting whatever the team sheet might be. I think if you share that to your social media and you're struggling for numbers behind the scenes and that's all you can do, that's totally understandable. I mean, we've been short quite often as well, and there have been times where we've had to make compromises, and if that is the case, totally fair. I just think we took issue, and I think people across the league and probably across Irish football as a whole took issue when they'd taken graphics and played them off as their own. That was kind of the big issue. But in terms of, I think, just sharing team sheets or whatever, there's not really much of an issue on my end from that. Like, obviously, it would be better to have a graphic or whatever, but if you can't, you can't. At the end of the day, it is volunteer, like you said, Bill.
To be fair, though, you do see it from the top down. You do see simple mistakes even the official League of Ireland page makes with the first division. Recently, all the league tables was everyone ranked number one, wasn't it? They're all first in the league, or they'll be putting out fixtures for the Premier Division under the first division title. It's just, you can see it's not just Bray that are struggling, coming from the top down, really, which is the worst thing to see. But you were saying, though, any press is good press sort of thing, but when they get shared around, I know obviously a few people have to piss out of it, but they did kind of give them a bit of attention around their name. But to be fair, all of them getting this year is bad reputation with ongoing stuff with fans, which we won't get into obviously. But it's just interesting to see me with no background in any Photoshop or nothing. It's just interesting now just to see what the story is to choose. I'm just curious though, how long would it take you to do a graphic for a game?
It depends on the graphic, I suppose. I know from our end anyway, I'd say it's probably similar for Aaron, but we'd have a lot of templates already made up kind of from the start of the season onwards. So for example, we would do halftime and full-time graphics, and we'd have all that template made. So the only thing you really have to alter is who scored what minute and what the scoreline is, and then obviously if we have like a match day sponsor or whatever, we'd have that along the bottom, and we'd have to change that depending on who's sponsoring us that week. But the template might take maybe an hour to make, and then once you have it, then you have it for the rest of the season, and it's only a case of you're updating it on the fly, really. So you'd be doing that while the match is on. And then in terms of lineup graphics, same again, templates. So you're only making slight alterations and stuff like that. So 5 minutes before match, and that's kind of it, really.
Yeah, you did it on your own, do you?
Well, the template was done up by Paul Mlad. I don't know if you know him. He's fairly popular around the League of Ireland. But yeah, he's fantastic. He's been brilliant for making up all the templates and stuff like that. And I've kind of altered them as the season's gone on and just kind of tweaked them. Depending on as the season's gone on. But I suppose the halftime, full-time graphics I'd have probably done. I've overseen them, and the goal graphics and the substitute graphics. They've kind of been my thing this season.
Same for us, yeah. Same as Joseph. It's kind of you do your template work at the start of the season. You kind of get your lineups, halftime, full time, kickoff, that kind of stuff. Up next, sort of graphics, you get them nailed down at the start, and it's kind of just a case of changing the text, slotting in pictures and stuff like that. I try to do one for every Friday and every Saturday for like a men and a women's game. Try to do one kind of standalone type one, something maybe eye catching on the morning of the game, just to kind of, if you're working with templates, things are very similar. So I try and like do at least one that kind of stands out from the crowd. But for the most part, you're working with templates, so it's not massively time consuming.
Yeah, go on ahead, Bill.
Just first, Paul and Matt actually did our very first graphic. I actually messaged him when the page had about 50 followers and said like, I have no money basically. Would you mind like, or I don't know what I said. I said I'd give you something, but he was very kind in doing the graphic, our very first graphic for us. So it was a good start to help us. But I actually have a question for Aaron, and it just came to my head randomly there. But a while back there was a lad who kind of went viral on Twitter, and he asked for a trial for Cork City for so many likes and retweets, and he got it. Did anything actually ever come of that, or was it? Did he ever try to get him over? That was some publicity at the time.
I remember it. Yeah, I remember it. Richard Allison. I think everyone in Cork ended up following him at the time. That wasn't me. First of all, I wasn't the one that replied to him saying to get the 50k retweets, but he got it, and I think there was like BBC articles and stuff done about it. As far as I can remember, there was work being done to get him over, but I think I'm not 100% sure on this. I think there were some visa issues. I think he tweeted himself that it broke down kind of on the visa side of things. But we definitely tried to get him over, but it just, I don't know what the exact reasoning was, but it broke down somewhere along the way.
Very good. Jack.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. Sorry, but yeah, I actually remember that actually happening. That could have been what, 3 or 4 years ago, was it? That was bad from years ago.
It was in 2019. Yeah, I remember it. I remember the tweet. The tweet went up, and I remember seeing the tweet, and it was kind of like, oh, no chance it won't happen or whatever. And we actually had a match that day, and I was doing the Twitter updates that night for the game or whatever. And I remember at halftime, I was like, oh, I better have a look at how that tweet is doing. And he was on like 35,000, and I was like, oh, right, okay. He's 100% hitting that. But that was great. Like, there was BBC articles. I think there was, all your kind of bench warmers, Bleacher Report, these sort of accounts picked it up and were sharing it and stuff, which was great publicity for the club and great publicity for Richard as well. I remember he got himself a couple of thousand followers as well. And he was, I think Adidas sent him a pair of boots. We sent him over a couple of jerseys. So like, it was kind of a mad period, but I think he had a good time himself as well.
Just talking about the social media aspect of it, I haven't seen TikTok wise. I see Galway has been on it, and obviously Rovers would be the main ones. Is Cork on it? Is it? The Cork put up much?
We are, yeah. Do you know what? Right, our TikTok, it's kind of one of those ones where it's not like it does well. I put up a few. I do our TikTok as well. I put up a few videos that have been funny, like got good reaction and stuff, but because it's not a priority, there's just other stuff that I have to do first, and then it's kind of a case of when I think of something, or if someone has called us out, like there was one a couple of weeks back, the last time we were playing Galway, I think someone commented something on a Galway video, and it was like, gonna smash Cork City next week, and Galway replied something anyway, and I remember screenshotting it, and I was like, right, I must reply to that now. So I kind of only do TikToks when we're provoked, if you get me.
Yeah.
Like we still have we have a couple of videos that, even videos that aren't, TikTok is very, if you look at Rovers TikTok, they're always going after someone.
Yeah,
remember they were like having drama with Watford and stuff, but we've had kind of just random videos that do well as well. So like our TikTok is growing, it's just not as consistent as I'd like it to be.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just a whole weird platform in general. I think one of the big ones, I think I saw a man that stood out to me. It was something about, was it Paul Pogba again? I think it's probably one of the biggest ones. I think it had a couple of 100,000 likes. It was something about Paul Pogba, obviously taking the piss, DMing into the page about him doing Rovers and Rovers saying no or stuff.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
Like
Rovers are very good on TikTok, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just mad. That's the only bit of credit I'll give them ever. Like,
yeah, same.
I can't stand it, but like I'll give them something. They're very good at promoting us out there. Do you think that could be the future of the league? Maybe to try to drag more in. Do you think it's that route going on TikTok and social media and tweet and something stupid like? Just to hope that
maybe not TikTok itself, but I think social media, and not even just from this, like the funny tweet to the stupid tweets, 100% is the future of the league. like everything, even the streaming service, it's the future of everything. Do you know what I mean? Everything is going online more and more, and you see it by the season. Like the league are active on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? There's a league account on TikTok that posts videos. Everything is going that way.
Yeah, it's just even I remember even a few of them though. I'd say it was Gavin McGoffin doing. I remember we were playing against Arsenal Europa League, and he put on something like Arsenal were throwing. I think Arsenal were training up. I think they threw on Willian against us, and then he was something like, oh, here we have Arsenal throwing on whoever for a crack or something. He said 3 subs.
Yeah, I remember.
They got like 35, 40,000 likes, like, and then
it's a bit like Galway with the duck last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
the famous duck. Yeah,
the famous duck.
Like some mad things, all right. Like I ran a thing taking the piss, rating chips in every ground I've been in this far in the league, and I think yeah, it was Finn Harps actually the one club that actually interacted with it. It's just like it's weird itself just having. I don't know, like you're bringing something to it. Like obviously I was getting in very small numbers compared to what other people were getting, but like it's just weird, like how the league sort of going more like digital. Like Finn Harps, like they seem like not a backwards club. I don't want to say it like in that way, but it'd be the least clubs you expect them to be putting up stuff, whether like getting in like.
Yeah, Finn Harps are brilliant on Twitter, to be fair.
Yeah, and
fantastic.
They're like, do you have some like sponsorship which I can't even think of it on some
Guilds, the esports team, yeah.
I don't know, it's like sort of thing. It's just you'd be there looking at the league, like it's actually the funny thing is it's actually been doing well since I think COVID with the social media aspect. I'm not sure though, has there been big signing videos by yous, any of yous not down in Cork or Galway, just for signing videos, or would they be a big thing behind the scenes, or what's the story with them?
I think Galway do more signing. We do kind of videos for kit launches and stuff, but Galway, I remember, did a lot of signing videos and signing content.
Yeah, the re-signings were a very big one for us around the turn of the year. That was kind of before I became involved properly, but the re-signings were pretty big. I remember Mark Gill was kind of behind all those, and yeah, it was around Christmas time as well, so it was kind of a good opportunity to, you know, kind of, I suppose, promote all the kind of festivities and stuff around the city.
Yeah, when the football is off, when the football is done, there's kind of a window there to do more video content and behind the scenes content, kind of keep people engaged to the off season.
I think Dundalk done that as well for the 12 days to Dundalk or something. I think it was something.
I remember that. Yeah,
12 signings, I think is very good, like sort of promotion wise. It's just go on ahead, Bill. You just put up your hand up.
Just one thing I just thought of as well that was excellent. I think from Cork City, because I had I'm not sure if you've seen it, but like 150 League of Ireland like marketing commercial ideas I tried on Twitter. And one of the ideas that I had on it, and I don't know the circumstance but I had on it miking up the coaches or whatever, and I saw Cork City.
I did.
With Danny Murphy. It was just
I saw the thread. We did that. It was actually kind of, look, I'm kind of like, I'd love to do content like that every week. Do you know what I mean? But you can't. And Danny had actually come to me and said, look, I want to do more on the YouTube side of things, build a profile of the women's team and build a profile of the girls, the women's players. And I was like, yeah, whatever you want to do, I'm good to do. And he was like, look, why don't we mic someone up? And I was like, well, we're not going to mic a player up, so it's going to be you. And he was game. We did it. We kind of did it. It was a last minute decision. We didn't have the best equipment. We just kind of worked with what we had. And to be fair, I think it's one of the best things we put out. With stuff like that, the outtakes are probably better than the stuff that was in the final video, but you just can't put them in. But that kind of content, the more content like that is brilliant. But there's a balance to be struck as well, because, you know, managers, coaches, a lot of them, it's new to them and it's kind of alien to them, and they don't want to be going that kind of behind the scenes and that in depth, which is fair enough as well. Completely get where that sort of that side of things, but that was really good. And I actually hadn't seen the thread until we put it up. I think you replied. I think you tagged me and you were like, "Yeah, I saw a complete coincidence, but like, you know, great mind sort of thing. Like it's a good idea that I love if more clubs did it as well. It gives you an insight into other clubs."
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, full credit to Danny coming in actually, because I'm actually meeting him next week again, just trying to help out with the Cork City women. So we'll see what comes from that. But
yeah, Danny's excellent. Danny's brilliant. I have all these mad ideas, content ideas, and to be honest, Danny's ideas are just as mad as mine, and he's always game to do these things. So brilliant to have Danny in, and brilliant to have a lot of managers aren't like that and they wouldn't enjoy that kind of thing. But Danny's so far anyway has been completely up for anything, so that's great from my point of view anyway.
Just coming to mind there, just thinking recently with the league and all the promotion wise, we're getting a lot of YouTubers, vloggers coming over now, especially down in Cork with Smith coming down to you, and with it, I can't think of the life of me what his name is.
The lads from Soccer AM were over last week.
Soccer AM, yeah, I saw that actually earlier on today. It's just the league doing good in general, like even with Footy Adventures. I know I was talking to Memorial Park there 2 or 3 weeks ago from Dalton UCD. It's like a surreal sort of thing, like seeing fellas coming over that you'd watch constantly. And usually me with Smith, anyway, personally, I had a bit of a thing there.
I was the same, yeah.
And we had him here in the podcast there, one of the first episodes. It's kind of surreal feeling, like getting doing the hero sort of thing. But like, it's just like a weird.
I have a Palmer's jersey. I have a Palmer's jersey at home, and here I am showing Smith around Turner's Cross. Do you know what I mean? It was mad to have him over.
Like that, yeah, it's completely mental. Like, just the league is finally getting a bit of exposure. It's just mad how there's YouTubers coming over, bloggers and whatever terms, football YouTubers just coming over, and they're giving more posts in the league than the League of Ireland trying to push that itself on social media. I just want to know what your opinions are on the potential of the league. See if you can push it the right way. I want to just see what your opinion is on it. See if you know how far the potential is of this league.
I think based on the last year or so anyway, it's, if you look at the likes of, looking at the Premier Division alone, the crowd Shamrock Rovers are getting at the moment, like they're selling out, and Dublin derbies, they always sell out, but other games are selling out or being close to sellouts. It's at the point now where, like, I think interest in the league is higher than ever. Look at the first division. Look at us in Galway last week. Do you know what I mean? 6,500 people at a first division game is just mad. Like Galway had big crowds. Even when we were up there, it was a big crowd. We went down to Cove, there's a big crowd. Other clubs have had big crowd. Like Galway, I think you had wasn't there another game in DC Park that had a massive crowd that I was seeing videos of? Like even in the first division, and there was, no disrespect to the first division, but there was never that level of interest in the first division. I'm not saying it's us, I'm not saying it's Galway, but just sort of Irish football in general, there seems to be more interest across the board. Even TG Carr today now televising 10 women's games. Like that's great for the league as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd absolutely second that. I think even since COVID and since lockdowns have more or less, disappeared, I think interest has skyrocketed. I think it's probably a symptom of people just being desperate for football when we were kind of, stuck indoors. I think we've been squeezing in, 4,000 into some games, and I think even when we were in the Premier Division, we weren't hitting anywhere close to those type of numbers. So that's extremely encouraging. I think a lot of it is down to how we're promoting it, but I think interest is naturally high when we're doing quite well in the first division as well. But I think it's just kind of about building on it, but also maintaining it as well, and keeping people interested. And I think the marketing side of it is quite important for that as well.
I think LOI TV probably helped, LOI TV, but watch LOI originally, because remember when things were completely behind closed doors and that streaming service came in, and that was sort of brand new, never really been done in League of Ireland terms. And you had like a season pass, so now you can pay, I don't know what it was, 60, 70 euro for the season.
60, I think it was 60.
Yeah, and you have access to every game. Like there were 100% people buying passes there that had never been to League of Ireland games just to watch football, and I've no doubt they kind of were hooked. Like we were all hooked by the League of Ireland at one point, and now we're going to games which reflects on the bigger crowds and the better atmospheres and stuff. So I think the interest at the moment is mad, and the potential for the league over the next couple of years is just incredible as well.
Actually, talking about that, watch LOI or the LOI TV, I can't think what it's called now. But even the fact just having the local boys doing the commentary, I know it's just for Adrian Taff and John Flanagan. Like it's like just the whole local aspect, and the fact that it's still continuing now whenever crowds are allowed back in. I just think it's an awful pity though. €7 for any game. I don't know about the first division. I know it's for the Premier anyways. There should be a pass put in there for foreign fans. For us, yeah. Like I know there'll be boys that I know that watching dog over in Italy and over in there'll be feel as though in Spain and feel in the Netherlands trying to watch some dog games week in week out. You're paying £7. Like it does add up when you think of it. Like there should be something put in for people watching it abroad and all, like just the game more.
Yeah, it's five per game in the first division, which is a bit lower, but it's still, when there's no season pass, I think the £5 a week does add up very quickly.
There's 30 odd games just in the first division as well.
Yeah, 150.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
So that's 100.
As you were saying there, going back to the commentators and stuff and the local commentators, like I think that's the best thing the service has. Like that's the best selling point of the service. You look at Sligo games and you have Joe on there.
Yeah,
like the man is gold. Yeah. You know what I mean? Our ones, I know ours can be very polarizing on social media. I often see when we score, our commentator is Rory O'Hagan from Red FM down here. With Philip Long is on with them as well. But Rory's commentary is class. It's 100% biased towards Cork City, of course. But
and the same there with also Finn Harps. Probably saw it as a clip whenever Rory got me.
The Rovers.
Oh, that was brilliant.
It's just like it's typical League of Ireland bias of the country.
Yeah.
Great work being
but like
done
people
there
share.
Keon Buck, the Longford Town.
People share our Kieran's commentary is brilliant at Longford as well.
Yeah.
People have been sharing our goals and like people saying the state of the commentary down there. Like, look how biased the commentary. I think that's brilliant. Like, I don't mind watching one of our away games if I wasn't at the game and the team is biased towards the other side. Like, it's League of Ireland. You know what I mean? People have their loyalties. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, go on ahead, Bill.
Yeah, like, I mean, I suppose everything we have to do, and everything we're trying to do with the league or whatever, we're trying to set ourselves apart from the Premier League and the big leagues or whatever. Because look, we're not the Premier League. We'll never be the Premier League. So we're going to have to find ways to differentiate ourselves from stuff. And if it's biased commentary or whatever, like, you're not going to get fucking Gary Neville so mellow when managing when commenting on United games, and I'm a Manchester United fan. It's ridiculous. Like. Yeah. They try so hard to be objective that like it just ruins it. A bit of bias doesn't
you contrast
that
at
all, I don't think.
If you contrast that with like any 10-second clip of Joey and Doe commentating on a Sligo game, like you just see the difference between the two and how I think the blatant bias on commentary really sells the product, to be honest. I think it's brilliant.
I think it was Wilfred Table for last year. He might have took one of the worst touches I've ever seen. And he was like, welcome to heaven. Like, it could have been one of the worst touches I've seen. It hit off his shin, I think. And he loves Will Patchen. I remember whenever he thought of him, Will Patchen. It's just, I think it's great. I think it's just like, it shows like the league is more of like a fan base. It's not, obviously you can take the piss out of everyone else, but then it's our league. Like, it's not a bit
exactly,
of a
way, and like, I suppose viral commentary clips from the Premier League are so few and far between. Like, I think, you're still reaching back to say like 2015 for like the last truly viral piece of commentary from like Martin Tyler. Whereas like if you listen to any LYTV stream,
Ronaldo the other day.
Well,
I shared a good one. Ronaldo's one for when he came back to Newcastle was good, alright, but
yeah, but when you're thinking
it's the only one from the season. If you
but when you're thinking like you're waiting months on end minimum for like a good piece of commentary, and then you're listening to say LYTV and you might get like
you get one per game each week.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Like especially if you listen to Sligo Rovers, it's completely different.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. I have another comment there, and I suppose we're not really Shamrock Rovers fans or whatever, but I thought to know your opinions. When Declan McBennett, head of Sport RT, tweeted today and said the TV audience for Shamrock Rovers peaked at 97k. Like, I think that was a very loaded tweet, but like it was on a Tuesday night. I don't know what it was compared against nothing, and like with very little to no actual marketing. Like, I don't understand how they expected should be 200,000 people watching on Tuesday night with no marketing. They were shooting themselves in the foot. Like,
I didn't see the tweet, to be honest. I didn't even notice it. So I don't know if there was any, like, if it was loaded or if there's anything behind it. So I don't want to say too much about that, to be honest, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I kind of be in the same boat. There have been a lot of complaints about RT not really doing enough to promote the league, and I think some complaints are valid. I definitely think there could be more done in terms of televising games, covering games and stuff like that. But without seeing that tweet itself, I don't want to say too much about that one in particular.
I'll say I'm not holding back here. I thought, right, no harm, right? I thought the game was on last night 8:15 Irish time. It was on 7:15, and I was starting until about 5 minutes before kickoff. I just flicked my telly, and I was like, "Try the Rovers game's on." But like, there was I saw nothing all week about being an RT till about 20 minutes before the game kicked off. It's just like, it's not good enough. But it'd be the same thing there a few weeks ago. Like, you see people begging for like games like the Galway and Cork game. So those people demanding for that to be put on television on RT too. But like, what to have on a Friday night? Like, what, Fair City or fucking home and away on 7:30? I don't know. Like, the thing is, right, I don't understand what to say. There's so much potential. Like, you could put out a game every Friday night. There's nothing on a Friday night on RT2 that's exclusive to them. If you know what I'm trying to say, there's nothing on to have to see that every Friday night.
I get you. I'd love to see a game if there was one game every week televised. But at the same time, if you go back to, and I know it would have been great to have our game televised last week, Joe, but like, massive first division game, probably the first division game televised. I don't know if there's been one before.
I don't think
but
so.
like, if you televise that, if you put it on TV for free, like, how much will that affect the crowd? Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, we're all raving about this massive crowd that we had, but if it was on TV and then people are like, might just sit out the back in the sun because it's mad sunny, and sit out in the back and watch it on TV. Like, does that hamper the crowd then and hamper the atmosphere? And then, one of those ones where you can't call it because it didn't happen.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose with LOI TV, it's kind of creating an audience, or giving people who aren't able to get to the games, they might be in a different country or something.
True.
They have the chance to get to matches.
I'd love to know how well they're doing. I'd love them to see like statistics or analytics from how many games. Like,
but with RTE, it's more or less. Obviously, there is the RTE player, but that's kind of a similar concept to LOI TV. But with RTE, it's only going to be people within the country, so it is kind of a fair assumption to make that that might actually hamper people that actually want to go to the game and stuff like that. Like it mightn't, but it might. It would be really hard to tell, but it would be nice, I suppose, to see the odd game on TV. But at the same time, if you're drawing in crowds like say we got last week, 6,500, there is an argument to be made that it might nearly be better just to keep it off TV in some instances.
I feel like
especially in the case of the first division. Like, like the first division clubs, it's a lot of the time it can be, you're relying on your gates, and if someone comes along and says, "Oh, we're going to televise this for free," and people can sit at home and watch it for free rather than pay 10, 15 euro to come in, like you're in messy territory then. When clubs are relying on it.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, to be fair, but I'm just thinking though off the top of that, like, do you think now, like, with the spike price in the first division, is that just with you? Is that just with Galway and Cork? Would that be the two biggest clubs probably with attendances this year? Would there be any other clubs sticking out?
Waterford, I think. Waterford get good attendances. They had a run there of like, they won, I think it was 9 games in a row. But I think they've lost their last 2. But I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the table in probably since the Galway game, so I couldn't even tell you how many points they are kind of away from the two of us. Longford were thereabouts as well, but I think they've dropped off the last couple of weeks as well. But in terms of crowds, ourselves and Galway have been, I think, the biggest crowds.
Yeah, I've done Longford away, and in fairness, there wasn't a massive crowd, but mitigating circumstances because it was absolutely lashing rain. So I think that can also have a bit of an effect. But yeah, I'd say probably, in fairness, we probably would be the two teams to attract the biggest crowds. But I think for a lot of clubs as well, it does kind of depend on form. I think that's a massive factor.
Yeah,
form, that really dictates. Like we actually had an away game in Cove. It was the first league away game in Cove since like 2007, 2008 or something, where I know we were there last year, but it was behind closed doors. And I think it was 3,900 was the attendance, which is like, that's a really big crowd down in Cove. And obviously big Cove support, but a massive Cork City support as well. So even games like that in the first division, having a massive crowd at St. Coleman's Park, that's great for the league as well. Do you know what I mean? It's great for Cove as well.
It is good. Like, you can see, like, sure, you're getting consistently more than in every week. Like, I know obviously you can think of the times, but I think we get about 10% of the time of our games, probably average crowd, which is grand for the size of it. But it's class seeing you the turnovers packed out to the rafters. Like, it's just like good to be able to see like that, even with Tala, as much as I don't like to give Rogue any credit, but like the fact that you're seeing the amount of young people now, that's really good.
Jack, there's a reason why Cork get more crowds than Dundalk.
There's more people.
I didn't want to comment there, do you know what though? When you look at the crowds that Galway are pulling and that we're pulling, and even Waterford there for a while, it's so frustrating at the same time that those crowds are massive and all that, and then we're in the first division and not the Premier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those are Premier Division crowds and Premier Division stadiums.
Yeah.
But hopefully we go up, Galway go up, whatever clubs go up, and kind of get back there.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that.
Next year you can go up next year.
That's an issue I have though. I think with the layout of the league and the format and the one team goes up automatically, there is a huge risk that if one of us does get stuck, like does interest wane the following season? Does the goodwill wear off? And I think that kind of is a worry. It not just for us, not just for Cork. I think it's league wide. Say Waterford, they went down last season as well. There is going to be a certain amount of time, or after a certain amount of time, fans might lose interest if they become perennially first division clubs. And I suppose that is kind of a lingering worry for
It's very easy to
several
drop in that
teams.
first division as well.
Exactly.
Very,
Yeah.
very easy. Like with us coming down, I wasn't alive first, thank God. Well, I was. I just wasn't going to games. I was too young. From about 2003 to 2008, like we were stuck in that first division for years. Obviously, trouble as well with the FPI, that was hard about. But like, it's just hard. Like you see, like clubs like I was personally delighted. Dave's not here tonight to say any bad. I was personally delighted never draw them in time for them 2 years. Just see bit of them rotting away. But like in general, though, it's sad enough to see those clubs just falling off like Shelbourne for years and all. Like they're finally back in. But even clubs like yourself, like you've been in for a while, Galway, haven't you? You've been in probably 4 or 5 years, have you?
Yes. Yeah. We went down. I think it was
2016. I think.
Yeah, 2016, 2017. I think
2017 actually, because you were Premier in
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember by the FIFAs.
I remember I was over in Galway actually in January. We were playing this pre-season, like just like this Amity Park. It's a lovely ground, like it's not a first division ground. I don't think.
No.
It's like it's just mad, and I had never been in Turner's Cross. But obviously, that's not a first division ground either.
No.
Then you look at it's just
we're talking about leagues. Yeah, so we're talking about league structures, whatever. I'm saying how I'm not a fan of only one team going up. Or I think is there meant to be a third division introduced in 2023, 2024? But I suppose what I have a question for you is we've done an episode with a few of the boys up the north about potential for an all-island league or whatever. So I was wondering, would you be in favour of an all-island league? Because I think the marketing of that would be unbelievable. Imagine having teams like Linfield or Cork City, and I think it would add a different dynamic to the league and make it more.
I think from that
marketable.
point of view.
Yeah,
go on, yeah.
No, I was going to say just from a marketing point of view and even selling it to like potential sponsors, I think that's the way to go, because I think if we went to all Ireland League, like we've basically two semi-professional leagues in the one island, and I just don't think we're big enough to do so. Like there's talks of the Eredivisie and the Belgium League amalgamating, and if they're talking about amalgamating, then I can't see why we shouldn't be amalgamating, because we're far smaller than they are.
Yeah, I think from a social media point of view and a marketing point of view, I'd love it. I think Joseph would say the same. Like it would just completely change things up and bring the Northern Irish League audience to the League of Ireland, and kind of, a whole new teams to learn about, new supporter fan bases that will be interacting and stuff. And I know you were saying there about the other leagues. I heard something about those leagues potentially merging as well. But like, I think it would all come down to, I remember when there was talk about it, there was talks about, how it would impact the national teams and stuff. So I think it would all more come down to that side of things and like the financial side of things, which I'll be honest, I know nothing about. But from a social point of view and a marketing point of view, I think it would be class. You look at, we played Linfield in the Europa League in like 2016, I think it was. Like there's a big buzz around that game. It's a good away trip as well, because you're getting to new stadiums and stuff. But would it work long term? I don't know, to be honest. Like if you look at the Setanta Cup, I don't know. Would you say that worked? The United Union Cup thing, like I don't know, that was scrapped this year, was it, or it never happened this year?
Yeah,
I don't know if the appetite.
It's just the appetite is there. Class the whole time. One was off, one was finished up for the year, and then
to be fair, COVID and stuff. COVID kind of hampered stuff there because wasn't the first one called off, and then there was 2 games that needed to be played or something.
Like we're the only team that's won it. Like we're the only final up in Linfield in 2018.
Yeah,
and obviously, I just talking from me going up there. Windsor Park is some stadium.
It's class, yeah. It's a really
good in the up. I imagine Cork right now. We're Cork in the upper tier as well. We use all up in the upper tier for the away fans. It's unreal. You feel like you're on top of the pitch, like.
No, we don't. It's all the one tier. Like we 4 stands, but there's only kind of 1 tier in each.
No, up in Windsor.
It does look sad. Oh, I wasn't there myself.
Oh no.
So I don't know where we were, but it's Windsor's a savage stadium. You see it in the international games and stuff.
It's mental.
The Super Cup was played there this year, wasn't it, or last year?
Yeah, Chelsea, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the kind of stadium you're dealing with, and I suppose from our point of view, to have a stadium like that in the league would another great thing for the profile of the league.
I'm all for the all-island league. It just depends on what way you spread it up. Like, what are you going to do with using the first division? Like, are you going to have are you going to be putting the first division of all-island league after you say for all sake implemented? Say it starts in, I don't know, just say next February, and we say we cut it off. Say we have the top 8 teams and the top 6 teams in the League of Ireland, top 6 in the NFL. Then, or you stay in the first division after one of you winning it, like there'd be war.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I suppose it would all come down to if they did it, how would they implement it, and how would they?
That's what I mean. Like, it's just I feel like you can't please everyone with it.
I feel like there might be logistical issues as well, just in terms of, when you go down the leagues a little bit, you get to say, the first division, or, if they did merge the leagues, I'd imagine there'd be like a third tier as well. You're going to be asking, part-time players to, take essentially what are full days off work, maybe even 2 days if you're doing overnight trips.
Yeah,
To, be going to, to be, crossing borders and all that. Like, it could, pose issues. So I was saying this as well, even when they implement the third tier in the, the south of Ireland, I think it's probably going to have to be regionalised just to make away trips easier for players, because if you've got clubs that are amateur, part-time, receiving no money, like, you can't be asking players to keep taking days off work to be going to the other side of the country, essentially. So I'd say it probably will be regionalised. They could
probably only do it if there was fully either regionalise it, or if they had kind of, if the sponsorship and the money was there to
they'd have to have
professional
something
league, like there'd have to be a really big incentive there for players to even want to make a step up and that sort of commitment. Like,
Aaron, I just have a question. Just I see it all as the whole time. Can you tell me what the story is with this little Howey out and how that started off? I only found it out.
I don't know, to be honest. I think it started from before I worked at the club. I used to be in the shed every Friday night, and I think after I got the job, then one or two of the lads were like, "Oh, how are we out?" or whatever. When I would be getting a video of the crowd, and say the manager applauding the crowd at the end of a game, and there'd be one or two shouts of, "Oh, how are we out?" from my friends, like, and it just kind of went from there. I think, I don't know, it's a lot of there's a lot of it on TikTok recently, so I don't know, is it a case of one fella sees it and just says, right, I'm going to comment that, and then it's kind of been snowballing the last couple of weeks. It's funny though, like, there's no, it's all banter, there's no malice, like.
But, you need to see that mad thing there.
So
actually talking about TikTok, that protein bar. That
protein bar,
like, it's just mental, the stupid things that get picked up and passed around. Like,
someone commented on my TikTok earlier saying protein bar, and I actually was like, "Jesus, I've made it now." Like, if someone's saying that.
Yeah, that's been a fun one recently, because whenever I just log in as the Galway TikTok, I can just go onto any random video that comes up on my For You page and just comment protein bar, and it's like a guaranteed 200, 300 likes.
Like,
literally.
Farming interactions. Rovers are really good at that on TikTok. Like, I'll be on the most random video and I'll just go into the comment section and I just see Shamrock Rovers.
Oh, they're ridiculous. They're everywhere.
Outrageous on not even football related videos, and I'm just like, I know the lads doing the Rovers TikToks as well, at the Rovers socials, and I'm just like, lads, have a rest, but at the same time, brilliant. They're getting so many followers and so many interactions from it.
Like, it's that sort of stuff that. Go on, sorry.
No, that's all. They're just getting so much interaction from it. It's mental.
That's it, yeah. Their followers. I remember when they started, I think ourselves and Derry and Galway were like the first three clubs. I might be wrong there, I might have missed one or two, who were kind of posting TikToks at the start, and followers, like, for a company account, like a club account, like, it's so easy to rack up followers on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? And it was, I think us and Galway were kind of running away with it, and then Rovers made an account, didn't have too many followers, and I checked about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, and they had overtaken everyone. I was kind of like, what the hell are they doing? Like, but to be fair, they're doing, like, their TikTok is class.
Yeah, they've I think it was a pretty big thing on their TikTok page actually about overtaking us, because we were the most followed club on TikTok for the most followed Irish club on TikTok for kind of the first while. But I suppose because of their popularity, I suppose you could nearly say worldwide, it was probably easier for them. But they've also been so consistent with their content. They have. Posted...
That's the thing. It's consistency on TikTok is it. Like, that's how you get your followers on TikTok. And just
like, have to look on there. They have 117,000 followers.
Yeah, that's essentially double. That's essentially double.
How many likes are they sitting on now?
What?
How many likes? Next to the followers, they'll say they're like.
Yeah, I'll check that. They've 1.8 million likes. Their pinned videos, 2.4 million views, 1.1 million views, 917,000.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like,
like that's.
But when they started, remember, Joe, when they were trying to overtake E, I think they robbed a couple of our TikToks. They robbed 1 or 2 years as well. But because their TikToks were doing so well, I'd just comment as the club account saying, "Oh, stealing another city TikTok," and I'd make a TikTok in response, and then we'd kind of steal all the interactions they were part. Like, we'd all their followers coming to us and following us. And so there was a couple of weeks there. I think Harps got involved. There was a couple of weeks where a load of clubs were just going back and forth on TikTok, and we all kind of benefited from it because all the clubs flew up follower-wise.
Yeah, I suppose that's kind of a good way of nearly getting interactions as well. I suppose kind of that club banter between clubs and stuff. Like, I think Spartak Moscow are kind of the kings of it. before all the
Spartak and Zenit, yeah.
Yeah, they were the kings of it before all the incidents happened. But like I think that is a really good social media strategy. But I think it's all kind of about how you want your brand to be seen as well on social media. Like some clubs will just stay so far away from that, but then other clubs are all for it.
That TikTok club, mate. I'd love to see that somewhere. Shamrock Rovers, that TikTok club or something.
Yeah.
Just lagging again. Like just in comparison,
I
the League of
love
Ireland
if
have 33,000 followers. Like,
if TikTok was around and popular in that era of like the City Dundalk rivalry in 2015, I think the content would have been absolutely incredible. Like both clubs would have been up in the hundreds of thousands of followers. Like
imagine McNulty's video back after winning the cup against us.
Exactly. Exactly.
I would have done millions.
100%. Like we would have been the most followed club on the island.
I don't even think Dundalk have one. I haven't ever seen anything from them, so I wouldn't say so.
I don't know if they do actually. Yeah.
I've never seen it in my life. I probably would have saw them because it would have been on my feed.
Longford are good on TikTok as well. Actually, I saw,
yeah.
Kyle Kane has taken that over, and like Longford, he's good on TikTok. I saw his Longford Town fan TikTok as well.
Kyle's a good lad. He's a bit of a breakthrough.
He's mad for a Howey out tweet every once in a while, but he's. I think he'll grow the Longford one.
Lyle Lane
out, yeah, 100%.
Kyle is brilliant. Like Kyle as well got his. Well, I'm not gonna say he got a start, but he was one of the very first people involved in our page. Or like Kyle's unbelievable stuff. Like, and he's always on it, always consistent. He puts an awful lot to shame, to be honest. And like he's only like 13 or 14. He's 13, I think. Like
you want people
that's insane.
You were doing 10 years would be realistic.
Before I was at City, like I know now it's a rival page here to you, but I did a lot of work with Paul Nealon at Irish Football Fan TV. Like I did a lot of graphics and stuff for that, and helped him out with a couple of videos and stuff. But like those pages, and for people like myself or Kyle that are now getting involved working in clubs, like those pages are a great place to get your start. So I know yourselves and a lot of other pages are constantly looking for volunteers to get involved and help out, and like it is a really, really good place to start off and to help build something.
Yeah, it's just mad the potential. Like obviously with Kyle helping out now Longford's TikTok, I think he has to grow that page. I think he put up his first one actually last night, so just people go over and watch that and follow them. But what you even do with there, Joseph? Like how long were you putting up stuff for the Irish Football blog before Galway?
Not long enough, as Bill would probably say. But exactly. Yeah. That was kind of my start though. I just remember I don't know how I got involved. I don't know, did I get in touch with Bill or did Bill get in touch with me? But it basically started with a few graphics and a couple of match reports, and then from there I think I sent the copy of one of my match reports onto Galway fairly early on, because I actually heard about it through college that they were looking for volunteers, and they took me on more or less straight away and just threw me straight in the deep end, doing the live updates on match days and stuff. So yeah, I have to credit my start to Irish Football Blog. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't
class,
for that.
To be fair, like that is class. Like just seeing like clubs actually willing to take and the locals like stuff, it is good to see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like everyone sees these pages and sees the work that is being done and the promo from these pages. So like the clubs know the value of people like that. That I'm sure the league and the FAI know the value of people like that as well. Like it's a really good place for kind of content to grow.
But were you saying something there, were you?
Sorry, no.
I thought I heard you there. Yeah, so during that really, anything else that you want to shout out or anything? Just run out of things to say, to be honest. I'm not used to doing this role. So is there anything else?
Talk to me, sorry.
What?
Sorry, I fucked up my hands there playing in the gym and I was trying to pull the fucking skin off. No, yeah, saying again, I suppose thanks very much to both of you for coming on, and sorry about the confusion about last night or whatever. But again, I think it's discussions like these and it's podcasts like these. Like I keep saying every single podcast to do, and it's like we could be waiting for the League of Ireland, or we could be waiting for the powers that be to be doing things how we want them to do and to provide us with the funding or the marketing. But like we'll be waiting all day for that, and I suppose from what we see, it's the organic stuff and the stuff that we're doing ourselves that actually does well. Like it's from your man who got the 30,000 retweets for getting a trial of Cork City, stuff like Howey out and bring the vloggers over. It's that's going to bring people into the league more so than anything else. I think we have to take responsibility for ourselves rather than keep waiting for people to do things for the league, because we'll be waiting all day, in my opinion. Anyway. But yeah, have you anything to close there, lads? Now, closing thoughts. Am I muted?
No, I suppose thanks for having the two of us on anyway. It's probably different to have a first division perspective on things, because I know like the first division probably doesn't get as much coverage as the Premier does, be it on social media or on TV and stuff like that. So even for having two of us on here and talking a bit of first division, I suppose that's great as well.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure, I suppose, to kind of get an insight onto Aaron's perspective as well, because I can kind of get tunnel vision when I'm clicking away at my keyboard in DC Park. So it's nice to just kind of hear what other people have to say as well, and especially you two as well. It's been fantastic to be on. So thanks very much for having us.
Look, I think the league will be better off with Galway, or the Premier Division will be a lot better off with Galway and Cork in it, but that's another story.
Hopefully next year.
Anyway, so.
Hey, leave it.
Too many other things.
Put you instead, and it's all right.
Yeah, we'll both go up and we'll get rid of Dundalk. Then we'll call that a deal. So.
Yeah, or even Finn Harps.
Last year was a big chance, but look,
Dundalk and both.
I give it a both and pass for 7 and 10 years.
Fuck both.
I don't mind as long as we go up, to be honest, lads.
Yeah, it's same. Whoever, I don't care whose spot we take. Just get us back up there.
To be fair, it looks likely, just actually, I know we're driving that a wee bit, but you see the video there from Ollie Hogan there the other night. I don't think Finn Harp's up in a good position, so maybe the playoff could be a decent chance for one of you to to go.
Oh, Finn Harp's always find a way. Yeah, Finn Harp's always find a way, though. I wouldn't be confident.
Oh, I don't know this year.
Harps are good at that. That's Harp's whole thing.
Yeah,
Like,
Harp's
they'll probably beat us on Friday in Oriel Park. I'm saying it. But
hopefully,
someone should someone should get on to the Finn Harp social media team and to mic up Ollie Organ, I think. But
actually,
you know what?
Oh yeah, they wouldn't be allowed. None of the
Ethan run any league of Ireland social media again.
It's Ethan Lee that runs the Finn Harp social media, and I guarantee if you put a microphone on him on a match day, you'd get better content than if you put a microphone on Ollie Horgan. Trust me on that.
Plus, everything Ollie Horgan says would probably be bleeped anyway, so you wouldn't be able to actually release any of it. Like.
Wait, I think that brings it into the show really. Yeah.
So once again, I just want to thank Joseph, Murray, and Harry for coming on. Thanks very much for coming on, lads. Just appreciate it. Like, for sometimes
no worries at all.
Thank you, lads. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Cheers, lads. Thank you.
Cheers.